welcome in.
Welcome back to Do It for the Story.
I'm Morgan.
And I'm Stacey. Cheers. It's another week.
Another week.
We made it.
Recording Sunday. Another release on a Thursday.
Yeah. Yeah, this will be released on Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving, you all. If anybody's listening on their way to dinner.
Yep. Happy Turkey Day.
Happy Turkey Day. Take it slow.
Happy harvest. Happy feast. Do less if you can. That's what I'll say. That's my advice.
Yeah, relax and sit back. No, I feel like I haven't really. Saw you maybe one night this week.
Yeah, it was just one night. Angel and I popped in on a walk. But yeah, we haven't really.
I've been hit with the sickness.
I know
so
you
I've
were
been
ill,
down and
I
out
was
this
like,
week.
Sorry, sweetie, I'm going to give you space.
No, it's been fine. It was. Sometimes it happens.
Sometimes
you gotta lay low.
I know.
What? But I'm dying to hear because I haven't even talked to you about this about last night.
Oh, right.
How was the show? How was the concert?
So last night, Stacey was supposed to go as well, but
I
because
was.
of her illness, it would have been definitely good that you did not go because it was, concert standing and hours of hanging out. But it was great. So we went to Tanner Adell. For those that don't know, Tanner is a country singer, and she was on Beyonce's
Cowboy Carter
album.
Yeah,
and
she's
she
in
was
Blackbird.
Blackbird singing in the dead of night. She did ask me to come up on stage last night. We sang it together. No, she was Buckle Bunny.
Buckle Bunny. Yeah, if you know, you know.
If you know, you know. But that is her. If you don't know her, the song that you would know is Buckle Bunny and A Hoot and a Holler. Oh, one thing before I forget, also, like, Stunning doesn't even do it justice. This woman, like, you see her album, right? But you're always kind of like, well, it's a famous person and it's a photo.
Right.
But my God, because it was such an intimate venue. So first of all, it's at PBR.
I was going to say PBR, which power plant.
I'm not. So Stacey's more familiar being a Towson, alum, but I have only been to power plant like once or twice.
I mean,
and it's been years. I didn't even know PBR existed. So it's this country
it wasn't,
bar.
There's been a lot of turnover with bars there, but that bar wasn't there when we were in college.
Oh,
but it's been there for years. But yeah, it's like the country bar.
It's like a line dancing bar. That's what that word I was looking for, line dancing bar. So if you've ever been to a line dancing bar, it is the typical line dancing bar. They've got at least one really big dance floor and then kind of two minis on the side and then two different bars. And of course there's the riding of the bull, going on.
Did anybody ride?
Of course. People were, no, not in our crew.
Come on, girls.
No, honestly.
Dust off your skeeter kickers and ride for 8 seconds.
It was too much energy for me. It was truthfully.
I'm kidding.
I know you're kidding, but I mean, I've,
Obviously.
Shar, our friend Shar came with us, shout out. And we were laughing because I think Shar said, have you ever been on a bull? And Kiki goes, oh, sure, yeah, girl, up in Deep Creek. And
Black Bear.
That's Black Bear. That's where I think that might have been my only time on a bull.
I've gone on the mechanical bull at Black Bear up in Deep Creek and also at the Pike. In Gettysburg.
I'm dead. Is that a temporary thing or
it was a temporary thing.
Okay,
they had a mechanical bull night. And I think I've done it too at graduation parties when they bring in a
maybe
stunt.
Something like that.
If there's a bull, I'm on it.
Oh, she's riding dirty, girls. Oh my God.
I'm kidding.
But anyway, so we were laughing then, reminiscing about, that was a different time. Kiki got married. My God, how long ago was that?
She got married in 2015.
Yeah. So we're talking,
But actually, was it your bachelorette that the mechanical bull was there?
I don't remember.
I'm pretty positive.
Either way.
So whatever.
It was a different time. There were no kids,
Yeah.
We were all rallying to, the concert started at 9 and I'm sitting there talking to Joe and I was like, I don't know if I can do this.
Yeah.
I'm getting tucked in. It's now this time of year. I'm genuinely getting tucked in at 9.
Yes.
And so I'm thinking I'm driving to Baltimore. I'm then at the show for a couple hours. I was elated that the show ended. You know, she only has one album and then she has a couple singles. So she only has enough
to do
music to do like an hour and 15 minute set. Love you, Tanner. But as this, 40-year-old body was
you're like,
pretty fucking excited to
so
jump
when did
downstairs to 7-Eleven. It was 10 something,
10:30. Perfect. Can you imagine though?
Yeah.
I mean, we know because we would hear it when we were when we were in our 20s being like, heard other people like, I can't imagine going, we would not go out until 11.
I know, literally. Okay, so we walk out, so we all look at each other, and one of the women that was standing, you get to know people, like the people that are right around you that you're standing together with for a couple hours, and one of the women looked at us and she goes, because they started doing the, Cuban shuffle, it was like getting into the line dance party after the show was over, and one woman looks at us and goes, y'all line dance? And we were like, yeah, and like somebody, so it was kind of like that group think in the moment, we were invited to dance and we all started, and I looked at Shar and I said, I'm gonna line dance my way to the door. And so Shar goes, okay, and we all just started going. And as soon as we walked outside,
like, I love my prime, and there's no way she is staying out that late either.
No, and Kiki goes, right as we got outside, goes, this is crazy. It's only, because we haven't looked at our phones yet. We weren't aware of the time. And she goes, oh my God, it's crazy. Because we were saying out power plant, it was pretty dead. And Kiki goes, honestly, it's pretty early. Think about when we were coming here.
Totally.
We wouldn't have left until 11.
And that power plant when you were in college, it's not where you went on the weekends.
Yeah, that's what they said. They said it was like a Thursday.
Yeah, Thirsty Thursdays.
Yes, that it was packed.
The lines. And I think, again, just because I saw it the other day, even on you see them on Instagram Reels, people talking about it. But obviously now I'm not going to the club, but people keep saying like club culture dying. So people not going out as much.
Okay, so this is the part that so overall concert was great. Tanner's got a great voice. Where I started with was just like, she's stunning in person, like actually somehow even prettier, like just like this.
Yeah, because you're realizing like this is real life. There's no filter.
There's no filter on her. And
but that's the thing. On her Instagram, she does do a lot where you can tell there's no makeup on. She's just
the girl's gorgeous, and just cool vibe, whatever. But it was
she's a
mixed. But this is it's in a bar,
right?
So it's not like you're at 930 Club getting perfect acoustics. So there was moments where I couldn't like really hear what she was saying when she was talking between when she was singing. It was great, but no, it was awesome show and super fun. But like right away when she comes out, the phones go up. And to your point of the reason I'm saying this, because you just made me think of how the club has changed. And I'm standing there. I just start, because I forget which song it was, but it was one of her like the bops, and you're supposed to be dancing, and it wasn't that one, I forget, because that was later in the set. But you're supposed to like bop and dance, and so I'm starting to jump around, and everyone standing around me, they just have the phones, and it's pointed at her. And we're talking about, because it is a bar, it's intimate. Tanner Adell,
sad for the artist,
was 10. I don't think she was 10 yards from me. It was close,
right?
And I know, and that's
you're like,
I would want to know.
Be like, I would think as an artist, you would like be so jazzing people, dancing, having a great time, letting their hair down. Like, you're like, yeah, I appreciate being able to repost your stories, but come on.
I know, and that's the thing where I was literally thinking in that moment. I was like, I wonder what her thought process is as the performer of. Because some of the people were like, I put my phone up to get a photo and a video, for I was like, oh, okay, I got 10 seconds or something. But I was like, are you recording like the whole song?
I know, dude. Sometimes you see at concert people the whole time
standing there.
And I'm like, you're watching the show through your phone. But I can't remember who it was. I saw this recently, or read it. Some artist was saying, please, guys, just put your cell phones down and let's enjoy this.
So was it that country artist? I swear it was that, because I was literally going to just say the same thing. I didn't see something recent, but I'm almost positive within the last 6 to 9 months, the guy who's married to Gwen Stefani now, I swear it was his ex. That I swear it was some country woman that
I don't
had
remember.
said,
I was thinking,
can you all put your phones away? And I think she got dragged. And maybe
I think you're right. There was another
it was because
thing
of how she said it, but I'm like, dude, this woman is a 40-something-year-old. She knows what it's like to perform in front of people, like moving and shaking. And she's trying to tell you,
like, let's get
like,
into
can
it.
we just enjoy the
Can we
art?
be in the moment?
Like, I made this art for you, and I want you to be here, and I want us to feel community and fun and dance. And I'm like, I truthfully, I would love to talk to a Gen Z person that has only ever gone to a show in this moment. And I'm so curious because I don't go to enough shows
and it's
anymore.
annoying because it's just like being at a wedding when you have some weddings, where the couple or the officiant will make the announcement, like, put your phones away. We hired our photographer to have signage about it because it's so gross when you look at the photos from the ceremony and everybody has their phone up and you're like, what is everybody going to have? It's like you think back to when when we were kids, our parents were going to weddings, right? They're not coming home with like, let me take a real, like, what are you going to do? Print out these photos? What are you going to do with the photos?
What are you going to do with the photo? And that's what I was also thinking of the people that were recording Tanner Adell. I'm like, so she has literally, her team recording her a ton, maybe the whole time. I wasn't paying attention, but there are people that were getting content, and I'm thinking to myself, like, that's going to be put online. Like, what are you really going to do?
You can say you were there.
5, 10. I'm like, how many minutes of content are you recording? And what are you doing? Get the photo, get the 30-second
weird.
video.
It's so weird.
So that was the only thing.
Because I'm just saying it obstructs your view then as you think about, we're always tall women.
You know what's crazy though? Because there was this really tall, we were laughing about like the straight dudes or the smart ones to come to the show because all women. And then there was like a couple of straight guys. So this straight guy gets on he seemingly was straight, the vibe he was putting out there, gets on the bull, and we were dying. We were like, yes, you are, great move, ride that baby.
Smart.
But right in front of me, there was a guy that was with his girlfriend and he was really tall. And typically, like you're saying, I'm thinking, I was like, oh God, I'm actually getting my vision blocked. And I'm really, and I was thinking, but the people that were to the left, right, and angles were the moments when she would sing, because she did a lot of moving around and holding the mic, but then there were times where she was playing the guitar, and so she's behind the standing mic, and then she happened to be behind this guy, so I couldn't see her, and I could actually see her because I was looking at the phones recording her. It's weird.
It's weird.
And I will say, there was also, now that I'm saying this, there was one moment where this woman next to me goes to whoever she was with. She wasn't even talking to me. She goes, my God, what's that woman carrying around a tablet? Because truthfully, some of these phones are so big now. This woman, like, and I could read, I wasn't trying to, you could read everything she was typing because her phone was fucking huge. It wasn't a tablet. It was just a huge phone.
Oh my God.
I know. And it was really funny though. She was like, what, she brought a tablet?
But seriously, I know what you mean though, because that's how it is on planes. I'm like, I feel invasive, but you're like, have the font on like 24.
And it's a 12 by 12 inch screen. That's like,
Oh God, these are the times. These are the days of our lives. But no, so that's awesome. And then I was laughing because before you all met up, like, you were driving separately, Kiki was, and then Shar lives down there. And Shar had called me, like FaceTime me, and she's like, I just had to say hey, and I just had to show you I'm waiting outside power plant because, like, to your point, we would go down there in college. Yeah. And I was dying because I was like, honestly, Shar, I'm having such vivid flashbacks of Kiki and I, especially being outside power plant, never with a coat on.
No.
In the middle of winter.
God. Could you imagine?
Like literally heels. This is when we're still wearing heels.
Yeah.
And no coat, freezing, like, standing in line waiting. And a friend of Kiki and mine, was a bouncer at Mexicali Cantina.
Oh my God, Mexicali Cantina. Yeah.
And Kiki and I actually one night went there. Vanilla Ice was playing.
What?
I don't know. I guess he was down on money or something. Yeah, but it was when also Vanilla Ice was in like random, like, I don't know, Big Brothers, shows like that.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, he played, which was obviously him like just getting up, singing Ice Ice Baby on the bar, called Kiki and I up.
No.
And was like, the twins. Yeah, but that night.
How do I not know this story?
I forgot about it.
You were up on the bar with Vanilla Ice?
Yeah. Dude, that's fucking awesome. And I knew every word because of this,
course.
you know, we're like, I'm like, you know, first he's giving us, he's like, get the twins up here. And we're like, Kiki and I are looking around like, we're the fucking twins. Down there using your and Lindsay's IDs.
Fucking pissed me
off.
But
that night, too, our friend was a bouncer there. And we thought it was so funny that Vanilla Ice were like, oh, yeah, we'll definitely be down there. But it's also like a Thursday. It was more of the college night. And there was a bunch of us like that went. But I remember begging this friend to take an ID to help my girlfriends that didn't have IDs. I was like, come on, just like card somebody that has like a New York or New Jersey and like, let us buy them from you.
Wait, buy him from who?
Like he would, you know how people had real IDs that weren't them? And he would be like, absolutely not.
Not. And you were like, can I have it?
I'm dead. I was like, oh my God, like help someone out. I mean, that did never happen. I was not involved in it. But I'm just saying these were the times we're so desperate to get in. Now kids are buying them off of eBay. I mean, not eBay, online.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
Literally.
Well, and then also it's just like, yeah, I mean, that's got to be another. We got to get, you know, a younger Gen Z on here. Not even like a Mimi. Like, I want to know the ones that like.
That are right now in college.
Right now. And is anybody dancing?
No, literally, I saw this thing and on Instagram the other day. This guy was like, he's a DJ and lives out in LA. And other people probably saw it too, because I've been served this ad a couple of times, and it was like dying club culture. No one's going to the club anymore. And it was showing pictures of people like just taking pictures in the club, not dancing. It's like Paris Hilton always says.
I was going to say, actually, Paris Hilton.
Like, when you can't, like, the club is not the club anymore. Like early 2000s, like it'll never be replicated. It can't be because of cell phones now.
So sad.
But he has started doing DJing at coffee shops. Like just to get people dancing, get people out. Like he's like, because people aren't going to the club, and when they're at the club, they're not dancing.
Wow.
Right?
Wow.
It's like Footloose, but chosen. Like no dancing.
I don't even understand. I really, that's what I'm saying. Like, I really want to talk to someone about this because it's hard for me to understand. Like, is it the self-conscious thing?
I mean, I've been at weddings of
aware
Gen
that
Z.
someone might record them?
I've been at weddings of Gen Zs being bride and groom.
Okay.
And I can tell you, the millennials and older were the dance floor.
But why is it? Is it they're scared of someone recording them and posting it?
I think they're not used to dancing.
But why aren't they dancing?
I don't know. I just think it's not, I don't know. Like, I would love to see like a homecoming dance now versus when we were in homecoming.
Because the interesting thing is they do those short videos for TikTok. So it's choreographed,
it's rehearsed, and
dances?
It's recut. Yeah, it's choreographed, I think, is more of the thing.
But I guess my point is, why would you even, like, why would a choreographed dance be cool, but not just actually being able to let your body free and dance not be cool? Or is it not a cool thing? It's a self-conscious thing? I'm actually confused.
I don't know. Gen Z, somebody with Gen Z kids let us know.
Say your kids.
I want to know what prom and homecoming is like. That would really be the indicator, because everybody has a phone there now that's taking pictures, you know? Like,
yeah.
Our kids all wallflowers.
Yes. And they probably don't even
I'm going to reach out to a couple of people I know with Gen Z
actually,
kids.
I have a couple good Gen Zers I can reach out to.
We'll get back to everybody on that. Stay tuned. But anyway, so I was loving that you guys went to the concert, had a great time. I was loving that Shar got to go be my sister stand-in. She loves a good night out with the sisters. Yeah. Especially because the last time we were out together, you were screaming, Gen Z loves us.
Yeah.
Because we were dancing.
And that was in a bar that has a DJ.
Yeah.
And, you know, I guess, I don't know.
Yeah, we've got to come back to that one.
We got to come back to it because it's confusing to me. And I just think back, you know, to those times in life. And we danced so hard.
So hard. We'd be sweating. We'd be disgusting when we came home.
I was on the floor.
Yeah.
I was battling strangers. Men.
Oh, I was up on people's shoulders at the club.
On the bar.
When it was Fleet Week.
Seriously.
Seriously.
I got to understand
it. The dance floor used to be packed. You'd be like, I don't even know who I'm dancing with at this point because everybody's around me.
Yeah.
And that's the thing too about standing outside waiting for.
Are they never grinding on a stranger? That's wild to me.
If you're not crying on a stranger, you're not living.
I'll fucking tell you. I'm so serious, dude.
Oh, I know. It's sad times.
And it's like, I have no regrets. I'm like, I'm glad that I got to do all of because now I am all older in a body that can't hang, but I'm okay because I'm not having FOMO because I did that thing.
Yeah, and we would get out there just like a saying. Vanilla Ice is yelling, "Get the twins on the bar." Kiki and I would use that shit to our band. We'd go out, circle forms. We're like, hell yeah, we knew our routines. We're gonna do our Clueless move, our Say the Last Dance move.
Oh my God, remember those? Oh my God.
Oh yeah. I have photos of
Kiki. I could still do the Save the Last Dance thing right now. Bop, bop, bop.
Absolutely.
Behind you spin.
Which, by the way, speaking of old and Gen Z, last night, while you guys were at the show, I started watching Cruel Intentions, the show.
No. Wait, yes. What? Is this on now?
Amazon Prime. Run. Cruel Intentions, TV show series with Gen Z cast. It's based on the movie. Yes. It's so good. I mean, I love a good, me. And I've only watched episode 1 and I fell asleep because I was literally like out by 8 p.m. But the one professor is the main character in Save Last Dance. The guy,
the woman, the guy, the black guy.
Yeah.
Oh, I fucking love that.
Why can't I remember his name?
I know I can't.
Come on, it's Sarah, and then the guy, and I know then his friend was Malachi. But you know what I mean? Sarah, the main...
You know what?
Julia Stiles' boyfriend in the show, the black guy. He's a professor.
Was he... Remember the black guy in Cruel Intentions, the movie that was the music instructor for the... Do you remember
was he
about?
In it?
I think that was him.
I was wondering that. I was like, I need to go back because Joe and I recently watched Cruel Intentions.
Is it him or not?
Because he hadn't seen it. So like probably, I don't know, within the last year, we watched Cruel Intentions. I was like, you've never seen Cruel Intentions? Because Joe was not a TV kid.
Totally.
He was at that point like an only child.
He was not a Cruel Intentions TV kid.
No, but of course. Yeah. He's like, oh, I didn't know this was Cruel Intentions. I was like, yeah, this was some millennial.
Wait, is there still a main girl that has like, please tell me they kept the coke?
I don't know yet.
That was the best part.
I don't know yet. I'm hoping, but it is. Cross. I mean, it's the same scandalous. It's like Gossip Girl, the rewrite. Like they're doing scandalous shit.
Some people drag the Gossip Girl rewrite. I enjoyed it. I thought it was great.
Yeah,
I actually thought it was like better and more relatable than
I liked it.
The first one.
But this, I'm hooked. I'm only on episode 1, but I am. It's a binger.
Oh, that's me for sure. Which one? What is it on Prime?
Prime.
Awesome. Going in hard.
I literally last night, cause I was like, ugh, I had been sick, like I said, all week. So, I'm not, I watched my shows, but I'm not someone that's like, I don't binge.
I know.
Stuff.
And you feel like,
and then I was just like, I don't even want to watch anything, but I'm just like,
something like that though. It's entertaining.
And then I literally was sitting there and Joe was like doing work on his laptop and I was like, and Joe's like, what did you watch? And he's like, what are you asking about? And I was like, Cruel Intentions, the show. And Joe's like, oh. I said, yeah, now you're in.
You know what's funny too about that? I've wanted to. So I'm 40.
You are?
I'm just kidding.
You look so young.
I love that. Thank you. But I still want to watch a movie about high schoolers.
Same. I literally said this to Mom the other day because when I was not sick, I was like, oh, I don't feel like watching this. I go, I need to find like a young adult, like a high school. I love a good nostalgia.
Right. And so, but my thought is, will that ever end?
Well, I remember one of our uncles, he loved the OC. He was binging the OC with us when it was on.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Oh, yeah. So I don't think it goes away. I mean, good TV is good TV.
And that's yeah, exactly. And the thing is, it's good TV is good TV. And you're like, I guess you're still, I mean, I think that's just what so many people say. You're like, I still feel like I'm, 25. Because I'm looking at these young kids on Gossip Girl and I'm like, fucking
also,
love that outfit.
And you're
I'm
interested,
like,
just like us talking about the club. Like, it's not, I don't have Gen Z at my disposal. It'd be different if Angel was like, that older age, and I was, I knew the slang. Like I was asking my friend the other day, he's a teacher of middle schoolers, and I'm like, what are the slang terms? And he was like, these kids are always saying like, I'm locked in. He's like, you're not locked in. If you were locked in, you'd be getting good grades. love that. Yeah. And like, oh my God, what was something else that he was saying? But yeah, he was giving me the slang. Oh, and you know, this one I knew, but it cooks. Like, oh, that cooks. That's fire.
It's cool. It's fire. Okay.
Yeah,
it's
like
fire.
she cooks.
She cooks. That's hot.
And then he's like, drip. That. I'm like, drip has been around.
Drip, drip.
It's like your outfit.
Yeah.
Came through dripping.
That's been
Cardi B.
Yeah, that was, yeah.
Drip, fit, all the same.
Fit, yeah. I think fit's not a thing. I said
it's
fit
not.
Recently. I
drip
think it's,
is it. Drip. Like, oh, you have a fresh drip.
Okay. I like to throw them around when.
But I was dying
around
because
the
our
kids.
cousin, actually, I gotta ask Jess, our cousin's daughter is, I don't even know. I'm so bad with the when the generations cut off. And she was giving me some of the slang this summer when I was out visiting them. And of course, her daughter was like mortified, walked away from us because we were at her volleyball game. And she's like, did I use it right? Like, she was like, stop.
Dead. I'm dead. It's just so funny getting older and having flashbacks to moments when your parents were saying the same things and you were like, it's just so funny.
Well,
it's
remember
when,
so what was the DMX? Y'all gonna make me lose my mind. Dad like pulling up to pick us up, being like, y'all gonna make me lose my mind. We're like, okay. I thought it was funny, truthfully. I thought it was funny too.
When Dad did it, was funny.
Or like in basketball practice, I remember Dad like coaching and he'd be like, stop. Hammer time. Whoa.
He always
and the Chumbawamba.
Chumbawamba. That was
I get knocked down, but I get up again. And people were like, oh my God, in a pep talk, is your dad quoting Chumbawamba?
Chumbawamba right now. Yeah.
But you got to meet people where they are. Get to kids' level.
Well, it's get to the kids' level, but it's also like, do you want to be completely unaware of what's going on? You know?
No. Well, it's the same as us. Like we listened
even
to
Grandma
music.
Williams, she always had her,
People magazine. I remember her being like, Little Bow Wow. Do you listen to him?
Yeah.
And we're like, Little Bow Wow?
Right. At like 90.
Yeah. And she would like always, Family Feud and Wheel of Fortune randomly bring in pop culture. Things, But she always had her Jet magazine and People magazine subscriptions, which keep you up to date.
Yeah.
But it's like we listen to music of our parents' generation, but they listen to ours too.
Totally.
Like, we've been to the Rolling Stones concert with our parents. We've also been to Rihanna.
Oh, you know. Absolutely.
But
I don't know.
Yeah, but good times. But which is like, so glad you guys had a good time. And the concert was, everybody, you can always let your hair down, but I feel like everybody just needed a little.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just like a moment. It's not a moment. You know what it is that life is just fucking hard.
Mm.
And I think, obviously I've shared with you all, like, this is Morgan speaking, my therapy journey and depression and anxiety and obviously I've started to go into, I've certainly shared some of my health journey and feelings on it and things of that nature. And so, yeah, I mean, we needed that night in the sense of like, and I'm not going to lie, it took energy, it took thought and it took me like motivating myself to be like, do I really want to go right now? Like, I know once I get there, like I really like any time with the sisters is good time. And like I knew that I needed it, but it's like just then the energy to like even get dressed and go down there and drive and not have you driving with me because you were sick. And so, it takes, and it's funny when Tanner Adell, and I said that to myself, before I went, when I was like, oh, do I want to do this? Do I want to go?
I know. Even Kiki had earlier on the week because especially in the middle of the week, you're like, can't even think that far.
Right. And, but when I was thinking of it, do I really want to go? Do I want to get ready? And, and as I was getting ready at some point, this bracelet that I wear of my friend Megan, who passed, it's just always on and I forget about it because it's one of those, you can't feel it. And it got stuck in one of the things that I was trying on and it fell off onto the floor and it was on the floor and I just started laughing to myself. I said,
she was winking at you.
Okay, fuck it. Okay, I hear you.
Yeah.
Okay, I know you always said go to the shows, do the things.
Well, last time you saw Meg, the first time I met her was at the Lizzo concert.
And it was in Baltimore and she was in Annapolis like, and she had to drive
and she had
stage 4 cancer and she's like, get the fuck up and go. And so I laughed and I literally said out loud, I said, okay. I'm going. And then, and I was already doing in my head, every time I experience art, it's always a positive. It's always something that I can take away, or, you know, even if it's not this positive, you know, message, there's something for me that I take out of it. And it was like the Bruce Springsteen concert. And I was thinking about that. I was like, think about the last time you didn't feel like driving to Baltimore, and then you had the fucking amazing experience, and it was this beautiful show. I was like, this woman fucking is on Beyonce's album. Bitch, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah,
go,
and also a black country artist. Where you have to defend, like, yeah, I like country music.
Yes, exactly. Which
people forget that they stole country music from black people.
Right, exactly. And it's like, you know, and that's the other thing too. I'm like, I'm going out there and supporting this black country artist, and I was the black girl singing all the white country songs, never feeling like I fit in the country culture and the whole thing. Everything that Beyonce's album, you know, and all these black country artists talk about. And so then I'm thinking of that, and I'm like, you know, go down there. So then we're at the show, and actually I would already been listening to her music during the day, but I think it was really at the show, that then it was on the way down to the show. Her one song about how a night with a long bottle or a long neck at the bar alone is better than a night on the couch. It's a whole song about that. Like, it's basically her diff song. Do it for the story, live. You know, it's better than doing nothing.
Yeah,
and you'll get more out of it. And I was like standing there, and I'm like, yeah. Like, I'm here. And as soon as I saw Shar, it was like the energy and just, you know, and it's just the reminder of, and especially too, the older you get, you know, the more people that you lose, you know, or the more people that you experience have cancer, or the more people that, you know, end up having depression, or they, you know, are having trouble with infertility, or school is harder. There's just so much, right?
Shit going on. Everybody has something.
Everybody has something.
If you say you're not, you're a liar.
There's nobody that I know that doesn't have something. And even the people that you think don't have anything, you know, end up having something. And I, you know, recently, even thinking of that, you know, after I shared my depression episode, or after, you know, we had shared that episode and I had shared my story, one of my male friends told me, you know, I really understand what that feels like. And I've been going through the same thing, and I haven't told anybody about it. And, you know, it was in that moment, I was like, it's that validate. It was a validating moment for saying, this is why I tell people community. And
you never know.
How are you? You never know. We talk about it all the time on the pod, and why we are being vulnerable and so open, because, you know, I gotta say, this person that told me this, you were never in a million years.
But it's also, like you said too, the power of vulnerability.
Yeah.
By you sharing that's why I always say that. You've heard me say it once on the pod, or you've heard me say it 1,000 times already. Like, vulnerability to me is a true sign of strength. Not even saying it strength like, oh, she's fine, but just when you share.
When you can be honest. But what vulnerability, what the real definition of and I'm not saying that I'm not saying the dictionary definition. I'm saying what vulnerability really means is truth, honesty.
And when you share it, it's almost like, at least for me, I always say that, like, my whole life, I've always said I'm a venter, which you obviously are too. Again, vulnerability, venting, whatever, because I feel like when it's out, when I get it out, it's part of my healing. And when I do get it out, and then, like you're saying, someone else says, oh, me too, you're now not alone in that struggle.
Yeah. And I think sometimes, you know, because I see this I've seen this on social media of, like, you know, venting is a waste of time, or don't vent to me, or whatever. I swear to God, I've seen that. And, you know, I think that's a part of, like, what I want to say here today too, is also, sometimes put down everything. Put down the cell phone, put down the social media. If you don't have a podcast that is uplifting you and bringing you joy, and I'm not saying that shit of if you need more money, get a part-time job, or never watch TV, or, and I'm the first person to say I try and have as little screen time after dark as possible because of my health, right? Like, because I know that's just stimulating me in a time when I'm probably tired. Mm-hmm. But do I think that people shouldn't be during, like, am I popping on a show during, the hours before it's dark to have a little bit of, like, let my brain fall out of my head, or listening to a podcast that's just pure entertainment? I guess because I just there's a part of this, advice, and like it happened so many years ago with the when I was researching for my blog, when I was trying to start that, one of the things that they would tell you is like the clicks. What gets clicks is the top 5 ways to be more productive, or the 10 ways to the 10 best ways to
all this
organize your house, or exactly. And I'm like, maybe what the advice really is like, do fucking less, and do you, and worry about your community and your heart and your gut and your body and who you can be vulnerable and honest with. Yeah. Because, sometimes I just get sick of the pushing.
No,
of like,
I even
do more.
It's funny, as you're saying that, actually was having a conversation with 2 of my guy friends the other day, and they both have kids that are like middle schoolers, and they were saying to me, they're like, I swear if I get one more social media thing telling me what to eat, how to dress, what to work out on, or how to live my life, they're like, it's too much for me. They're like, and it's hard being a parent. Like, they're like, at the end of the day, it's so hard for me to teach my kids that things don't matter, because everything around them is a thing they need, or a product they should be using, or not, being forced at them, social media or not. They're like, I just feel like there's so much noise. Like, it's so hard to filter it out. And I'm like, yeah, like, to your point, I just want to I think about us as kids, and, whether middle school, high school, it was just easier to unplug because we weren't so connected. We've talked about that before, yes, with the social media stuff, but the speed of change with technology, it is so fast. You feel like you have to, if you're not doing, you're behind, whether that be, how do I use ChatGPT, or how do I use this new version of the phone, or there's this new, social media app, or blah, 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 new health craze. And I, even being sick, I had like this guilt of just that I was laying on the couch. I was like, oh my God, I could be laying here with my laptop doing
right? Isn't that
XYZ?
crazy?
Like, I know my list is like, I have these bills to pay.
Sick, you should still at least be laying there paying bills.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
But again, and like you said, because then in the back of my mind, the stuff that at least in my algorithms and stuff is, it's not easy for me to sit. I like moving around. That's my ADHD shit. But like, then it is the stuff where they're talking about, like, this is obviously not our day job. It's a side hustle. That's a side hustle hobby. Like, we're not getting money from it right now. So I'm also sitting there thinking like, well, I could be on my phone. I could be posting socials, or I could be like doing pod research, or I could be, and I'm just like, dear fucking, because everything that I'm served is like, well, when you're doing a business, maximize your time. Don't watch TV. Get up in the morning and go on a walk and be thinking about the 20 things you want to work on today in the podcast. And I'm like, can I just like daydream?
Well, and the funny thing about this too is like, I keep saying this as well, to like just different, because I'm on a journey. We are all technically on a health journey, and some of us are just in a different phase of it. Right. And like, I keep saying this to Joe. I'm like, I just, especially like when my depression was like flaring up, and I'm like, I feel crazy, but the thing is, I know I'm not crazy, because I realize that this isn't real. This capitalist push, do more, go, go, go. Like, it's not real.
Well, it's not natural.
It's not natural. That's what it is. It's not natural. This isn't how
At
life
all.
is supposed to be. And because everybody's looking for their way to make more money so that they don't have to be stressed anymore, or that they can do something that makes them happy, or, you know, you need more money to whatever. I mean,
or they just feel like they need to be doing like five things at once.
Yeah. And it's the stress too of just everyone in this moment in time as well. I don't know whether you make 40,000 or you make 140,000. Everyone is fucking stressed and stretched financially, and that's exhausting too. So then you also feel like, well, I mean, how often are we going to get advice on, well, then you got to get a side hustle? I'm like, that's the advice. That's what literally, so grind even more. I'm like,
yeah,
you know,
a girlfriend of mine said she had knew her mom, like probably, I don't know, her baby was probably, I don't think he turned one yet. And she was reaching out to a mentor of hers and asking like for advice, because she was, while she's on maternity leave, I think like her job changed or whatever it be. Mm-hmm. And he was like, well, what about a side hustle? She's like, I'm a fucking mom. My side hustle is my day job.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
She's like, okay, yeah. And it was coming from a man who was very successful and had many kids. And it was very clear, you know, they always say behind every man is a very successful woman. Mm-hmm. But she's like, well, it's very clear. I mean, his kids were older, they're grown. It's like, well, it's very clear how you were able to get to where you are.
Right.
Because I don't know what your wife's career was.
Well, and then, I mean, think about
and
it.
And again, she was raising the kids. Was like, we all don't get to have that now. It's like very few of my friends. I don't know many that are able to even have the choice to not work. Because you have to have two incomes.
Literally talking to a friend about
and
this
that
today.
was the thing back in, and that's what even I don't remember, was it Marianne Williamson was saying that, like back in, you know, when our parents were kids, it was, you could have a blue collar job,
a blue collar
job, and it could one salary could support a family of 4 in a nice neighborhood with a nice house, a car. You could still go on vacation. Now you're like, I'm fucking drowning. And that's why people are like, you know, so many people don't know if they can have kids, want to have kids because of that stress, because they're already stressed.
They're already stressed
financially. And let alone when people are like, well, you know, then you are the mother working. It's like, it's not just this feminism shit that I'm like working, you know, that
yes,
it's exactly. Not that. It's like, yeah.
Exactly.
If I, you know,
sure, I wanted to have a career and have that, you know, we grew up in a household where like, you need to know how to take care of yourself. You need to have your own place. Of course, in my 20s, like I want that, you know, I want to be able to have, and I want the option to do whatever I want to do with my life. But it's when it's no longer an option and it's a requirement. And when someone like me, like, it is hard to know that like the best thing for me would actually be if I was not working. Because it's hard. It's hard to balance everything and all of your doctor's appointments and your kid's school. And then your kid gets out. I was talking to mom about this exact same thing. You have to have 2 jobs, 2 salaries. And then you're also supposed to get up from your desk and pick up your kid at 2:30.
Well, that is what is wild to me, because back when we were kids, again, it was like at least at our school, most of my friends, the one parent, most of the moms didn't work, or like our mom worked part-time, which allowed her to, but we also had grandparents. And
it was a lot of that too. It was a lot more community.
More community. And it was also just different, where like you could be like, okay, well, I'm not going to be home until 4. There's an after school thing until 3. The kids will get dropped off at 3:30. I can be, or not going home till 5. My 12-year-old can be at home with the 3 siblings. Like, not anymore.
Dude, did you see that? This is probably not in your algorithm, but this mom got arrested in Georgia because she had left her son, her 10-year-old, with her dad, his grandfather, for an hour, 2 hours, I don't know. And he decided he wanted to walk into town, close enough to walk into town, 10, I don't know, however long that is. He wanted to walk into town to 7-Eleven-ish type store and buy something. And she got arrested because the son was by himself.
Dude.
And she was like, my elderly dad didn't even realize that he left, and he's 10. He's 10 and he walked. It wasn't like he took him a day. He took a walk.
Yeah, like how is that any
town.
different than I see kids walk into school?
Who knows? I mean, I
Who
don't know
knows?
anything about
Yeah,
children,
I'm
but
not-
I'm just saying, there's all.
Yeah,
I was
all these
babysitting at
things-
9. You're not doing that anymore.
Same. I was in 8th grade watching a 2-year-old and a 5-year-old. 7th grade. Sorry. So yeah, I was 12.
Yeah, I mean, how much younger is our friend Mary than me? I was babysitting her and her 2 older
3 years
siblings.
younger than me, so 6 years younger than you.
Yeah, she was 1-ish. I was babysitting her and her older siblings. So no, she must have been older than that.
If she was like 5, then you were 11.
Yeah, I was definitely younger than that because she was not 5. She was probably 3. I mean, I'm not saying that.
Yeah,
like,
we're not saying, but it's just
but it's
also
there's
a lot harder.
Exactly, it's a lot harder when you got to
Even
wait
think about
until
that
your
too.
kid's
When you were
14
paying
for help.
when you're paying a 12-year-old, I'm like, woohoo, $50, all day long. Versus now,
I
you
gotta
need a
shell out
nanny,
cash.
and you've got to be paying at minimum $15 an hour.
Yeah.
It's like everywhere
It's
you
not-
look,
Joe
you're
and
like,
people
how?
look at us like, oh, you guys don't go. And I'm like, how am I going on multiple date nights? One, I do love to be at home with my kid.
I keep telling you, I'll take
But
Angel.
2, I know you will take Angel. I know, but you were sick. And
Yeah,
can't,
yeah.
You know, all
I'll
that.
get
But
him
you know
next
what
week.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
I shouldn't have to be, it should be no big deal for me to, but it's like, oh, I got a budget for how many times? I mean, it's just, but I think, my point is just like,
There's so much
there's
stuff
just
going
so
on,
much stuff
and everybody
going
has
on.
their own stuff. And I think it's especially we talk about like in the last episode. I mean, today's Thanksgiving. There's always extra things on your list, stuff to do, so you have to really protect your energy and not feel bad about just if today's the day where you got to put the TV on for the kids. Fuck it, or you need to be on the couch because you're not feeling well. Fuck it, or you are like, you know what? I'm so sick of all the headlines and all the toxic freaking news.
Nobody said you had to watch the news.
Yeah,
and
turn it
anybody
off.
that does, fuck them.
Turn it off. Just stop. Like if it's not serving you, we're not saying you're totally tuned out. I mean,
You don't have to be tuned out from your community, but if you can't do anything about what's happening in DC, do you need to obsess over it?
Right.
Like,
There's
check
nothing
in
we
on
can
what's
do
going
right
on
now.
in your local community.
Exactly.
If you know more about what's going on in DC than your local community, that's a place that you can already just flip it on its head.
Yeah.
Because you can see progress
Yeah,
there.
and
You can feel better about something as simple as, oh, I put 10 books in the book donation little library
Yep.
thing. Nobody's saying that you have to go down to the local public school and be there 5 times a week.
Right.
It could be
Right.
just, because I'll tell you what, those little libraries are awesome.
I know.
You
And
know?
like we were saying the other day, the little start a little library that's a food pantry.
Yeah.
Because people think about the food pantry at Thanksgiving and then they don't. And at Christmas and then they don't. But it's like, think about your neighbors that need it. And not even the food pantry. It's just like being kind. Or maybe if you are the parent that has a friend in your neighborhood, like you're saying, that maybe you are like, hey, I'll take your kid this night. You want to do a date night?
Yeah.
Like just think of little ways, things that you can control, but also just know we're all doing the best we can.
I was going to say, know that we're all doing the best we can, and know that you have more in common with the people around you than you think. And, it's just like when I told when my friend heard about, my depression and was like, wow, I needed to hear that. And that was really helpful. And just knowing that someone else was going through it made me feel better. And, and that's to the point of like, when people say this, like, don't, venting's a waste of time and this, that, and the other. And I was like, I don't understand what you're talking.
Bitching is a waste of time. If you're just being negative about things that are like, you know, if I know Morgan has all this health stuff going on and she's a mom and she's got a job and yada, 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 I'm not going to call her and be like,
oh my God, I have a head cold today.
I'm so fucking annoyed that like, you know, I wanted to go get my nails done and then like a meeting ran late. And so I could, oh my God, first world. Exactly. Or being like, I have a head cold and Morgan's like, oh, I couldn't get out of bed today. I'm having a flare with my arthritis. Know your place. Check who you're talking to, but also just like try to look inward. Take a breath. Take a beat. And know that you're going to have to really protect that energy to get through this holiday season. Because your kids and the people around you absorb the energy that you give off. So also, if someone's energy isn't serving you, to create space.
Yep. And you'd be surprised if you just said to someone, I got a lot going on right now. Can we do no gifts this year? Or can we do less gifts this year? Or, you know, I'm not saying it has to be I'm just tossing out something random, but I'm saying you would be surprised about how many people are overwhelmed by this stuff too.
Yeah, this is in 1980. We can get everything that we want within 24 hours.
Well, and also even that, I'm like, for me personally, I'm like, please don't waste money on me just so that you feel like you filled the void of like getting me something, because it's just the consumption to just consume. Ugh. You know, it doesn't actually bring you joy anyway. And
Christmas is for the kids.
Christmas is for the kids, but also it's like, you know, maybe your gift to your family or your friends is being that advocate for yourself, because I know what it feels like when you got just things are stacking up with like appointments that you haven't made and things that you haven't done. And I'll tell you what, thank God I finally got my colonoscopy done, because I ended up having a precancerous polyp. And, you know, my friend was telling me that, like, you know, colon cancer takes so long to develop. I was like, maybe I would have even had cancer in a couple of years. She was like, no, it takes so long. But like, yeah, I mean, if you ignore it.
But you also advocated because you shouldn't have been getting one.
I shouldn't have been getting one at all. Exactly. But I was like, hey, I have these I take this medication and I have this and yada, yada. And they were like, oh, family history. And I was like, let's do it. But I say that because, you know, when you like stop and slow down and you can figure out or take that day off work that you like feel so guilty about getting sick. It's like
to be prioritizing gifts that you have to buy for people.
And that's how it feels.
I've got to do this. I've got to go get the gifts. I got over there's making your doctor's appointments. At least I always have my, you know, a running to-do list, and like, yeah, it may not be crossing off stuff, but if you start to see that thing that's getting moved down still get moved down, but then you can is you. When you're like, yeah, I don't know, I've been having this pain in my side. It's been there for, 8 months. And I'm like, what? Have you not made an appointment? I know, but it's like another thing. And I'm trying to, I'll do it when the kids go back to school. And you're like, full stop.
Because we all have too many stories of people that we know that have died of, like Megan's bracelet that I'm wearing, that have died of colon cancer. And, it's
all of it. It's not even the stuff that's like mortality, like just what we're saying, like with the mental health and it's just like there's all this things that you think you have to do.
Yep. And even the guilt, it's so interesting too that you brought up the guilt thing earlier of just like feeling even guilty to like be on the couch. And when my depression started to flare, I was feeling so guilty about being depressed. And just, I feel guilt about just even being on the loop of like, oh my God, I know, like stuff is weighing. And it was so crazy. Duffy randomly handed me a page out of Megan's journal. And I just told her that I was just like, had seen a picture of Megan and was thinking of her and I was having a hard time. And she just happened to say like, take this. And literally, like that was when my depression was really starting to flare. And then I read the passage, and the whole passage was about how don't feel guilty about how you are so low right now and how you feel so bad and how like you're sick and you're tired and that's okay. And like give yourself grace and remember like what matters. And yeah, it's just weird how you know, sometimes in life, you know, that's why I'm like, is this life or is this a simulation? Because like you get served. It's not only that like Duffy handed me that on the day that I needed it, but then the other moments that I've needed it and I randomly remember the passage. And then I'm sitting here thinking of it now with you saying I felt guilty sitting on the couch. I don't know. Sometimes you just, if you don't even have time to be still and process like the things that matter around you.
Yeah, you got to ground yourself.
You're just missing out.
You're missing out. But yeah, that's probably a good place to end it. It's like, give yourself grace, protect your energy. And also if you're feeling the need, and we talked about before how important community is and looking out for people in your community, looking out for each other. Morgan and I are actually going to be leading a community conversation at Groundswell Yoga in Annapolis with
Duffy's studio that we're talking about.
The owner of the studio. Just talking about too how you can get involved with the community, and you know, this season, the last couple of weeks, month already has been kind of crazy for many different reasons.
Yeah, and
just kind of reconnect,
just connecting
and have a place,
sharing, and
again,
a place where
we can
like we
be a safe place to share how we're feeling, just to talk, and say, hey, what can we do?
And also, if you don't have the space to do anything, just to know that other people around you also are having a hard time, and or maybe somebody around you is like, you know, I like something good happened for me. And that, like, I saw friends of mine, one of them who's a cancer survivor, running yesterday. And I was like, God damn, I always love seeing you guys run because you look like you are fit and doing the thing that it makes me feel like I'm fit and doing the thing. And like, just even the
sharing
smallest
their joy,
thing, sharing other people's joy is a beautiful thing.
So let's just be kind, be happy, enjoy your Thanksgiving. If you're listening to us today, and if you're listening to this after Thanksgiving, well, hopefully you had a great holiday.
Yep.
And don't forget to review, share with a couple people you know. It's a great time to share this with people at the dinner table.
Yeah.
But hopefully we'll see some of you, if you're local, at Groundswell on Sunday, December 1st at 6 p.m.
6 p.m.
Divas.
Stiffs.